Australia has a national classification scheme first set up in 1995 that applies to films, games, and publication. The big idea is to balance freedom of choice with community protection. In other words, adults should be able to watch what they want, kids should be shielded from harmful content, and no one should be forced to see offensive material by accident. The content is rated by the Classification Board. Each state and territory determines the consequence of classification. The classification guideline has a rating system. The ratings differ depending on the type of content. For films, anything that exceeds X18 plus is refused classification. For games, anything that exceeds R18 plus is refused classification. R18 plus is high impact violence, simulated sex, drug use and nudity. X18 plus is real sex between consenting adults, but with strict limits like no violence, no degrading acts, fetishes, or anyone under the age of 18. Refused classification is anything that crosses the line: extreme violence, child abuse, detailed crime instructions, or offensive sexual content. A rating of RC means that it cannot legally be sold or distributed. The online content scheme under the Online Safety Act relates to two kinds of material: Class 1 material and Class 2 material. Class 1 material defined in Section 106 as content likely to refuse classification. Class 2 material defined in Section 107 as content likely to be X18 plus, R18 plus, or restricted publications. Under Section 109 to 111, the eSafety Commissioner can order service providers like social media platforms or hosting services to remove Class 1 material within 24 hours. It is not relevant where the service is provided from or where the material is hosted. It merely needs to be accessible from Australia. Class 2 materials under Section 114 to 116, the Commissioner can order removal of materials classified or likely to be classifiable as X18 plus or Category 2 restricted if the service provider is from Australia or the content is hosted here. Under Section 119, the Commissioner can also issue a remedial notice requiring Class 2 content like R18 plus material to be placed behind a restricted access system so that children cannot access it. The Commissioner also has some extra powers. For example, in Section 124 link deletion notice, they can order a search engine to delete links to Class 1 materials. Section 128 app removal notice means that they can order app stores to remove apps that allow posting of Class 1 content. The Online Safety Act provides for the Minister of Communications to make determinations for setting out basic online safety expectations. The Online Safety Determinations 2022 was the first, which has recently been amended by the Online Safety Amendment Determination 2024, which covers how platforms protect users, especially kids, from harmful content. Under Section 49, the Commissioner may require the relevant providers to submit periodic reports on how they are meeting the expectations set out in the determinations. So to sum up, the Australian classification system sets the classifications, the Online Safety Act sets the rules, and the eSafety Commissioner makes sure platforms follow the rules. That's your quick guide to content classification and online safety in Australia.